إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is truly worthy of all praise. To Allah belongs the most beautiful names and attributes of complete perfection. And we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He might be pleased with us once we recognize our deficiency. As the Prophet ﷺ used to say, أثني عليك ولا أحسن الثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. We praise you, and once we recognize that we are not able to praise you as you deserve to be praised, you are as you have praised yourself. To Allah belongs the most beautiful names and attributes of complete perfection. And indeed Allah alone is the creator, and Allah is the owner, and Allah is the mudabbir al-umur. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all good is attributed to Allah, and all evil is attributed to ourselves and our evil actions. And peace and salutations upon the Messenger of Allah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent as a mercy to all of the alameen. He guided the people who were blind and in darkness to the light. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praise Him and give Him His status that He deserves on the Day of Judgment. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the believing men, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمُعَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala calls the believers, O you who believe. And when Allah Ta'ala calls the believers, if we are one who claim to be believers, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now speaking to you in this ayah. And He is calling you. What should our response be? Should it be like those that came before us? سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. We hear and we disobey. No, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls the believers and He says, O you who believe, we say, لَبَّيْكَ وَسَعْدَيْكَ ya Allah. Our Lord, we call, we answer your call again and again. Order us that way we might obey. Allah Tabarak wa ta'ala calls the believers, إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمْعَةِ. If the call for the prayer is called on the day of Jumu'ah, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Then hurry and race to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today's Jumu'ah we want to speak about some of the ahkam of the Jumu'ah. And we discussed some of the rulings of the Jumu'ah before. But it seems like some subjects need to be repeated, because sometimes we need to be reminded. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala tells us, فَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind, for verily the reminder befits or benefits the believer. So we remind ourselves of some of the ahkam that Allah has levied, some of the rulings concerning the Jumu'ah. And maybe we will remove some of the misconceptions. And maybe there are amongst those brothers who didn't hear this khutbah before concerning the rulings of the Friday prayer. There is a misconception which is something which is spread amongst Ammatun Nas, the ordinary people, that the least amount of people which are required for the Jumu'ah is 40 people. If we look at the people of knowledge, when they are asked concerning this, their reply to this is, there is no authentic narration from either the Quran or any authentic narration which is reported from the Prophet to establish that there has to be 40 people. What is required is that there is a Jama'ah. A Jama'ah is 3 people. 3 people, if they are found, this is enough for the Jama'ah. Because there is no proof to say that 40 are required. And because there is no proof, then the least amount is whatever is appropriate to call Jama'ah. And Jama'ah is anything which is 3 and above. So if 3 people are found, they are sufficient to establish the Jumu'ah. This adad of arba'in, there is no proof for this. This is the first misconception which the common people find. I want to also address another issue which is linked to this. This is the Jama'ah for the Jumu'ah, for the Friday prayer. As for the Jama'ah concerning people who are praying an obligatory prayer, then 2 is sufficient. Why are 2 sufficient? Because the Prophet ﷺ prayed with another person and that was considered Jama'ah. So 2 is sufficient for the Jama'ah, but for the Jumu'ah, 3 people are required. 3 people are required for the Jumu'ah to be correct. Concerning the Jumu'ah, the day of Jumu'ah is a day of, or a special day for the believers. It is a day of worship and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, it is the weekly Eid that we have, the Muslims have. The Jews and the Christians, they also sought a day which was a special day for them, and the Jews took the Sabbath or a Sabbath, the Saturday, and the Christians went and took Sunday. But the day which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for the believers was Friday. Friday is the day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the believers to come to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمْعَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَىٰ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us that when the call is made on the Friday, then hurry to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And concerning the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning hurry to the masjid for the Jumu'ah. And when the believer comes to the masjid, what does Allah tabarak wa ta'ala orders? خُذُوا زِينَتُكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ masjid. When you go to the masjid, then go in zina. Tazayyin. What does that mean? That you wear the appropriate clothes. And in the appropriate hay'ah. You smell good. Your mouth smells good. Your clothes are appropriate. Your hay'ah is appropriate. It's not befitting. Look what Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said concerning the person who comes to the masjid having eaten raw garlic or onion. That one who is eating raw garlic or onion, then let him not come near our musalla. For verily the angels are harmed by it. Harmed by what? By the smell which harms the believers. One of the brothers, I had said to myself I wouldn't say this, but there is a need. And because we do not point to an individual person, this is a nasiha. Because the Prophet ﷺ used to often say, sometimes somebody would come and say something to him that would be wrong. or he would hear of something. So he wouldn't go and address that individual, but he would address all the people. And he would say, Ma bal aqwamin. What about those people who are saying this or doing this? One of the brothers came to me, he said, Ya Shaykh, please remind the people. One of the brothers prayed next to me, I couldn't stand next to him. I couldn't stand next to him. We come to the masjid and to stand before Allah, and we smell so bad that the person next to us can't stand next to us. And socks, hadith wala haraj, clean socks. If there were children, we could say they have an excuse. Adults, when a Muslim comes to the masjid, Allah has ordered him that he should make zina. Come in, clean clothes, and smell good. Wallahi, deodorant sprays, they cost less than £1. Maybe some of us, we should go out and buy one. And I don't address an individual, I address all of you. And I include myself in that too. It's inappropriate. You come to stand before Allah and nobody else can stand next to you. Allah has ordered us when we come to the masjid that we should come in zina. Some of our brothers, they come hot off the football field. That's what it looks like. So they're wearing shorts and they're wearing low-cut t-shirts, and every time they prostrate, there is nothing left to the imagination. Everything is apparent. Inappropriate. You come to worship Allah, then prepare yourself. Then prepare yourself. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is good. And you only accept good. What good have you come to present to Allah that Allah might accept of you? Smelling so badly. And wallahi, the masjid, they do their job. Look, they have put perfumes. You can use a perfume from here. In the Jumu'ah in particular, we are ordered to wash, to bathe. Ightisal yawm al-Jumu'ah. To bathe on the Jumu'ah day. Bathing on the Jumu'ah day is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Some of the scholars went to the extent that they said that Allah's Messenger has ordered it wujuban. So some of them said it is necessary to bathe on the day of Jumu'ah. And there is khilaf amongst the scholars on this matter. So the least a person should bathe is once a week. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put you in ease. Allah has put you in ease. I think this door might have locked. Please check the door. This brings me to another issue. Talking on the Jumu'ah. I haven't finished the first one, but I remember another karitha. On the day of Jumu'ah, people are complaining to me, Ya Shaykh, the people upstairs are talking during the Jumu'ah. La yajuz. Who's given you the right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told you that when you come to the Jumu'ah, answer. Be quiet. Be quiet. It's not even allowed for a person. If a person comes late to the masjid, that another person tells him there is a space, even if he doesn't speak, with his hand or with his finger, he indicates him there is a space, and this is not allowed. So never mind speaking. And much of what we speak probably isn't worth speaking about. Every week people come to me and tell me, Ya Shaykh, upstairs the people are talking during the Jumu'ah. Maybe we should suggest that people should come out here and speak a lot. So when they come to the Jumu'ah, they are so tired they've got nothing to say now. The only one who is allowed to speak on the time of the Jumu'ah is the Imam. And he should speak about what, if anything is at all appropriate during the Jumu'ah. Like the Prophet ﷺ. He was in the Jumu'ah and he was addressing the people. A man came into the masjid and sat down, started to listen to the khutbah. The Prophet said, Qum fasalli. The Prophet said to the man, stand and pray. Because the Prophet saw fit for that man that he should stand and pray. So other than the khatib, nobody should speak. Nobody should even indicate. Nobody should even touch something on the ground, start to play with it. How often? We don't even realize that the reward of the Jumu'ah has escaped us because of some trifling thing which could be avoided. Brothers and sisters, the Jumu'ah, if it falls on the day of Eid, what should we do? If it falls on the day of Eid, then the ulama have said that a person who prays the Eid prayer, then he doesn't have to do the Jumu'ah. Based on the narration of Muawiyah when he was asking Zayd ibn al-Arqam, he said to him, you witnessed the Jumu'ah with the Prophet ﷺ. How did the Prophet do when the day of Eid and Jumu'ah were on the same day? So he said to him that the Prophet ﷺ ordered us that whoever amongst you has prayed the Jumu'ah or has given rukhsa fil Jumu'ah, فَقَالَ مَنْ شَاءَ أَنْ يُصَلِّي فَلْيُصَلِّي. Whoever amongst you wants to pray, then let him pray. Meaning, it is no longer wajib. He doesn't have to make the Jumu'ah if he has done the Eid prayer. Except for the Imam. The Imam, it is necessary for him that he should do the Jumu'ah because there may be people that come to the masjid to do the Jumu'ah. In one hala, or one situation, the Imam can be excused, that is if the people don't come. So if 3 people didn't gather, then there is no Jumu'ah. Otherwise, the Imam should do a Jumu'ah even if the people didn't come. So this is the rukhsa for the people. The Jumu'ah is for the men, لِلرِّجَالِ. The Jumu'ah is for the men, not for the women. But we find people, sometimes they are excessive. If some of the sisters come to the Jumu'ah prayer because they benefit from what is said, then it is lawful for them to come to the Jumu'ah as long as there is no fitna, as long as there is no fear of any trial or problems for the sisters and there is an appropriate place. As the Prophet said, لا تمنعوا إماء الله مساجد الله. Do not prevent the slaves of Allah from coming to the masajid of Allah, and he was referring to the women. So if there is no fitna, then the sisters can come to the Jumu'ah and they can benefit from the Jumu'ah. But just like the men have a dress code, and they must come smelling and looking good and dressed appropriately and behaving appropriately, in the same way for the sisters. For the men we order them, come smelling of perfume. For the sisters we say, don't come smelling of perfume. It's not allowed. It's not allowed for a woman to perfume herself and then parade herself around the town. It's haram. When she comes, she should wear the appropriate clothing so she is covered. And she should avoid mixing among the men. She should avoid mixing among the men, which brings us on to another issue. How often we find some of our sisters, they do that. But the men have spread and covered the path and everything, that the sisters have to wait and linger because the men won't move on. Which is another issue that often is brought to my attention. And I fail to address it because I'm addressing other issues. So I'm reminding the brothers, the path, the tariq. It is the right of all of the people. It is not Southfield Road Masjid right only. People who pray Jummah right only. No. It is the right of all the people. So if you are going to stand in the forecourt of the masjid or in the car park, then make sure that you're not in other people's way. Because if you are in other people's way, then that is their right, and it is unlawful. Also, we should remind the brothers about the hukm for the one who lives in the badiyah. People might ask, why do we mention this issue here? Because there is also the hukm of the musafir. What is the ruling of somebody who lives a nomadic life, he moves from place to place to place? Does that person have to do Jumu'ah? And the person who is a traveler, does he have to do a Jumu'ah? The correct opinion, which the scholars have said, this is not my opinion, but this is what I have taken from the senior scholars, is that the person who is nomadic, there is no Jumu'ah upon him. Because we don't find any proof From the time of the Prophet ﷺ, those people who were in the Badiyah, those people who used to live out in the reef, and they were travelers, nomadic people, that we find that the Prophet ﷺ ever ordered them to come and do the Jummah. So just like the Prophet ﷺ didn't order them, we can't order them. And the Musafir the same. How often we found the Prophet ﷺ mid-safar? He travelled. So the traveller, he doesn't have to make the Jummah. There is a very serious issue, and that is the hukum of the Jummah itself. What is the hukum of the Jummah? What's the ruling of Jummah prayer itself? Already the time has escaped us. Already the time has escaped us. The hukum for the Jummah is fard ayn. It is incumbent upon every single individual who has reached the level where the ahkam sharia apply upon them, that they should make the Jummah from amongst the men. Because the man can't make wujub of that among the women, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't enjoin it upon the women, but upon the men. To the extent that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لَقَدْ هَمَمْتُ أَنْ آمُرْ رَجُلٌ يُصَلِّي بِالنَّاسِ ثُمَّ أَحْرِقْ. Subhanallah. That's how severe the Jummah is. ثُمَّ أَحْرِقْ عَلَى رَجُلْ يَتَخَلَّفُونَ عَنِ الْجُمَعِ فِي بُيُوتِهِمْ. Prophet said, it occurred to me, hamamtu, I intended to do this. For what? An amur rajulun yusalli bin nas, that I should order a man that he should lead the people in the Jummah. And I should go and burn the houses of all of those men who do not come for the Jummah prayer. This indicates to the fact that it is incumbent upon every single individual. And in fact, the hadith which is authentic, that anybody who misses 3 Jumu'ahs in a row, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seals his heart. I ask you, what good can come from a heart which Allah has sealed? Allah seals a heart. What good can go into it and come from it? Some of our brothers, this is a regular feature. They don't go to the Jummah at all. So this is something which is an issue we should bear in mind. Coming to the Jummah, and coming to the Jummah early is also from the Sunnah. We should try and come to the Jummah before the Imam sits on the minbar. Subhanallah, you feel that this one Jummah we can't come on time. And also, there is a very important issue. I don't want to leave this issue to next week. I want to address it now. Some of the people, they have from their own zan, from their own misconceptions, they have come with a hukam. That as long as there is no khilafah, there is no Jummah. So there is no khilafah, there is no Jummah. Or we live in a country where it isn't ruled by Islamic government, so there is no Jummah. This is a misconception born from ignorance. Ignorance of the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ignorance of the Quran and the Sunnah. Who has said this from the people of knowledge and the Imams before? Kalam batil. And this is the problem with those people who are making fatwa that don't have the ahliyah for fatwa. They are making rules and regulations in the deen of Islam and they know nothing about Islam. The ulama have said that it is not shart, wujub or sihha that there should be an Islamic government, a khilafah, or that there should be an Islamic country. If you're living in this country, you should be doing Jumu'ah. If you're living in another Muslim country, there should be Jumu'ah. Never do we find in any of the texts, that the Prophet said there is no Jumu'ah except if there is an Islamic government. These issues, brothers and sisters, there are many of them. There are many of them that still haven't been addressed. Maybe inshallah we will address them in the further Jumu'ah bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But many of these issues, brothers and sisters, they are issues which are not known to us. So we should, when we don't know about something, ask about it. Research. So that inshallah we are aware of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has levied upon us, so that we can worship Allah upon knowledge, not blindness. We are not like the Christians who worship Allah as ala kayf, as we please. We worship Allah as we've been ordered to worship Allah, and only that is acceptable to Allah. And also not like the Jews, when we know something, to avoid doing it because we know knowledge but we don't act upon that knowledge. And so we invoke the curse of Allah upon ourselves. No. So the Muslims, when we worship Allah upon knowledge. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a people who hear the truth, recognize to be true, give us the ability to act upon it. And also make us a people, when we hear the falsehood, recognize to be false, and give us the ability to avoid it. وَأَقُولُ مَا تَسْمَعُونَ. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله سبحانه وتعالى في السر والعلن وصلوا وسلموا البشير النذير فإن الله سبحانه وتعالى قد أمركم بذلك في كتابه فقال إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم من صلى علي مرة واحدة صلى الله عليه بها عشرة اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وارض الله عن أربعة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر أصحاب نبيك أجمعين ونهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وارض اللهم عنا معهم بمنك وكرمك وجودك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين واحمي حوزة الإسلام يا رب العالمين اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم وادعوه يستجيب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون وأقيموا الصلاة